today we've got dear Iris with us. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. How are you doing?
Good. Oh, great. So, I guess I just start out and ask where you guys from, what kind of music you make.
Yeah, man. We're from. Well, first, I'm Philip Nance.
I'm Jerry.
Jerry, we are Dear Iris collectively. I sing and he plays bass and all that. Pretty much everything else. He does everything. I just sing. But man, we're from Paris. Us two are from Paris, and then the other two guys, we're a 4-piece. The other two are from Longview, so just generally just East Texas area.
How'd you guys all link up?
Me and him are from the same town, a small town. So we've known each other for a while. And the other two guys, our guitar player, we met him in the studio. He tracked some songs for us on lead, and then so he started playing a few shows with us, and then we were kind of just we were calling drummers, just getting filling guys, and then he's actually the music director at his church. So the drummer that drums at the church, he sent us that guy's information, and we all just kind of played. We played one show together, and everybody clicked. So we've kind of rolled with it ever since then.
Nice. How long have you been playing?
As a band, we played probably a couple years. We used to play under my name, which is Philip Nance. We had some songs out under my name and played under that name, and then just got me and him were talking and felt like we'd be more marketable maybe if we just changed the name to an actual band name versus just my name. And it seems to be proving us right so far. I think from what we've seen, we're getting some traction, especially online and stuff. So,
how'd you come up with that name?
That's on TikTok. That's like the number one question we've gotten. How'd you get the name? I love flowers, and my girlfriend, she's got plants and stuff all over the house. So we were for probably a month, we were trying to come up with names, and we'd have like an adjective and then some kind of flower. And then one night we were eating Mexican food, and we were just saying, and I said Iris, the song or the name Iris, and we were trying to fit a word that would go with Iris, and he brought up, we were looking up the meaning of an iris, and there's an iris, the flower, and then the iris is also like the colored part of your eye. So he was like, what if we did Dear Iris? So really the meaning behind that would be dear, like we're writing a letter, like all of our songs are to purposefully whoever's listening to them, which is the meaning behind that. He kind of came up with that, which as soon as he said it, like we both knew, we were like, yeah, that's it. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I think it's really catchy.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. Who did you listen to that inspires the music that you make?
I'd say it's different for all four of us. I'll go first and just my kind of music inspiration would start with like John Mayer. And then kind of get more maybe 2000s rock, maybe some maybe Incubus, like earlier 2000s, 90s rock, which that's completely off from what his is, but I think all four of us collectively work together. What about you, Jerry?
Yeah, I mean a lot of 90s and 2000s rock, some grunge. I'm a big metal fan. So just kind of all over the place. But I love 90s country.
Yeah. I've seen there's 90s country is huge right now. And it's so funny because it's like, well, we grew up on, and then now it's all coming back. And it's even the music that's coming out now has that feel to it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think where we're from is a byproduct of putting us under the country genre, even though I think everybody in the band would consider us more alternative. But we're from Texas. All of our buddies play country music. So and the accent. I do have a pretty decent accent sometimes when I sing. So it does put us under that country genre, but I think the country genre in itself has such a big umbrella. Like almost anything could be country nowadays. So
Right. I feel like Southern rock and country are almost, a blend now to make its own genre.
right, for sure.
All right. And if it's not clearly rock or clearly blues, it just gets kind of umbrellaed into country.
Yeah.
So you guys dropped an album. You have a full album that just came out June. Yeah. So not just last month.
Right. Yeah, a month ago. Which we've had these songs for a while, but dropped the album. And we play, like when we play live, obviously we play the album. We've got some new stuff coming out as well, which we play when we plan on just dropping those as singles. But the full project is out on everything. It's, as far as writing goes, some of my favorite writing that we've ever done is as a part of that project. So we're pretty proud of it, and we're trying to get it out to as many people that'll hear it.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, I sat down and listened to the full album, and I really liked it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I like the progression of it, how it works through from it is a whole story, and it starts. If you listen to the whole thing, it's a tale from beginning to end.
Yeah, man. That was the kind of the collective part of writing it, is the whole story behind the full project versus having just an album with 8 different tracks on it or 10 different songs. We wanted to make it like a full story that it'll take you from track 1 to track 10. It'll take you on a full story, and I think we did that pretty well, honestly.
Is the story itself, is it something you guys have wrote and made up, or is it like a personal story?
To be honest, I think it's a multitude of like a bunch of different stories that we kind of made into one like progression from leaving Austin, Texas. You just left your girl and then making your way back home. Then you're sipping and sinking, and then the bar's closing. You can't go to sleep, so you're restless on her, and then the whole, really the hook of the entire album is the last chorus. Whenever it flips, last call at the bar to getting one more last call with her, which is where we got the title from. I figured that would be the perfect title track to the album.
And which names and faces may have changed, but it's a story that most of us has kind of gone through anyway.
Yeah, wanted to make it definitely singer-songwriter as far as lyrics goes. We wanted to tell a story, but it's really just a combination of a bunch of different stories all put into one.
So is it a collective in writing too?
No, I wrote most of the songs. I had a hand in every song. There's 2 songs that were co-writes, and actually both co-writes. Neither of those guys are in the band. One of them is a good buddy of mine he's from Paris, but he dated a girl in Austin, so that's where we got the whole Austin, Texas idea from. And me and him co-wrote Seasons, and then me and another guy co-wrote Kylie's song. And me and this other guy both lived in Oklahoma and played college baseball up there. And Kylie's song was originally about a girl from Oklahoma, but then kind of like we were saying, it's a true story about a real person. But we kind of flipped the script and made it to fit the album where we were talking about being in Austin. So it's just an example of kind of writing to fit the entire story of the full project.
So who comes up with the instrumental part of the tracks?
That's more of a collective. I'll have like the chord progression, which is also not set in stone when I write the music. I'll have a chord progression and the lyrics, and then collectively we'll kind of make a complete song, pretty much out of what I have. And we've changed. I've had, a song where I thought it was, A minor, F, and G, and we switched it to E minor, D, and C. You know what I'm saying? So like the music is more of a collective deal, which I think works great because now you're taking four different people with four different influences and putting them all into, one sled of music.
Now that you've talked about it and stuff like that, I can hear a lot of the 90s rock sound to it.
Yeah, man, that's like I said, that is definitely I think that's one collective influence of probably all of us. Alice in Chains, Incubus, Stone Temple Pilots. I mean, that's just such a legendary time in music. Obviously we've all got other influences, but I think and it's not like we were trying to write a 90s rock record. I think it just kind of came out.
Do you have a favorite song on that album?
Mine personally is Kylie's song. More the lyrics are cool or whatever, but the instrumental part of it is my favorite. What about you?
Restless on You's got to be my favorite.
I think he cries himself to sleep to that one sometimes.
I do.
So you guys are probably playing. Do you like tour, or you just you gig, or?
Yeah, man, we're gigging. We're not, humbly speaking, we're not big enough to actually put on a full tour yet, but we're playing, just about every weekend. Just trying to get the name out there right now. Booking shows in Texas is not easy. Everybody plays music, you know what I'm saying? So we're just trying, like I said, we can get the name out there and get enough people behind us, maybe we can start filling out tour schedules and stuff. But we are playing just about every weekend. We're like I said, we're a 4-piece, but some shows, if it's just a little dive bar that can't fit a 4-piece, we'll go play 2-piece. You know what I'm saying? We'll play and kind of cater to what's needed, but we are a 4-piece band.
What's the furthest away from home you've played?
Man,
Abilene, probably.
Yeah, probably Abilene. How far is that from Paris?
4 hours or so.
Yeah, 4 hours from here. And the other two guys live in Longview, which is another 2 hours east of here. So it's probably 5.5 for them. It's out further in West Texas, whereas we're east. But man, we've played there. We've been to Oklahoma City. Our hot spots are Dallas. So, Dallas, Fort Worth area.
Stockyards.
The Stockyards, yeah. Hochatown, I don't know if you've ever heard of Hochatown, probably not from being from Indiana, but it's grown so much that, there's 4 or 5 different venues up there now, and it's almost like playing in the Stockyards or somewhere like that, because you can play a couple times on the same weekend and play for a different crowd every night. So it's and that's only an hour and a half from where we're at. So that's one of our
I've been to Billy Bob's before.
Spots. Yeah, we haven't quite made it that high yet, which we would love to. That's one of our, ever since me and him started playing, that's kind of one of our dream. Once we can headline Billy Bob's, we might can say we've kind of made it in the industry. It's kind of what we've always said to each other.
Yeah. Awesome. So you say you have other songs coming out you're working on?
Yeah, man. We within the next month or so, we're gonna drop a song. It's a 3-song EP, but we're gonna drop them 3 songs at a time. We're gonna drop within the next month probably a song called Drown, and then kind of go through that whole promotional cycle. and then keep moving with singles. I mean, we've really just stacked up a bunch of singles, really to keep things moving instead of dropping, one big project. Kind of like we did the album, which is cool. The album worked and is working fine for what we had intended, but singles, I think, is the name of the game for a little while anyway for us. I think we've got 9 or 10 singles lined up that are ready to come out. So we're just going to keep hammering people and kind of see what the feedback is.
What's the biggest venue you ever played?
I don't know. What do you think?
Probably the Saloon.
Hochtown?
Yeah, probably Hochtown Saloon.
Yeah, the Saloon, Hochtown Saloon. It's in Broken Bow. Like I said, it's the one. It's about an hour and a half from here. It's probably a 2,000 person venue, 2,000 capacity. Big stage, nice stage. We've actually got in the sound guy. We've got in with him pretty good. They've got a little cabin like right behind the saloon, which it's only an hour and a half drive, which isn't bad. But if we play there, he'll let us in the cabin so we can stay for free, which is a pretty sweet gig.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a cool place, man. I would say it's probably the biggest and honestly probably the nicest place we've played.
So do you have a sound guy that works with you, or you just use venue sound guy most of the time, or
This guy,
the Mr. Do It All, huh?
he's our catch-all.
Well, if the venue has in-house PA and in-house engineer, of course we use them, but if it's something that we put on ourselves at any local venue, then we've got our own PA and do it all wirelessly. Just do it ourselves.
Yeah, a lot of places we're playing, don't have their own sound system and hire their own sound guy. So he's kind of our catch-all. He plays bass, runs sound. He does it all.
You guys have favorite instruments you play?
I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Bass.
Yeah. What kind of bass?
Like yeah. You have multiple, I assume.
No, I've gone through. I mean, just like almost every musician, I've gone through a dozen different basses, over the course of my career. And right now, I'm kind of hung up on Fender P basses. Yeah,
that's a Tarquin.
Oh, yeah. Standard. Sounds good nearly everywhere you put it, so you just stay there.
I'm ignorant on all that, dude. I don't know left from right when it comes to what's a good instrument and what's not. My main guitar is a Gibson ES 345 semi hollow body, pretty high class guitar. And then I've got a Schecter. I don't remember. It's another, semi hollow body guitar. I've tried to play a Telly. I'm a bigger guy though, and I just didn't. Tellys are great. It's really versatile. It could do the country stuff and it could get harder. But I just couldn't, and I wasn't comfortable with it because I am a bigger guy and the Telly's, it was a smaller guitar. So it felt weird. And then whenever we were taking, we do have a media guy. Whenever he's taking pictures and stuff, it looks weird. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to play that. I'm going to sell it and get money for something I really love. But it's a great guitar though.
Do you drink when you play?
Yeah, we do. Try to keep that on the DL as much as we can until after we play. Obviously if we're making a long road trip or something, we got to drive back, we don't drink as much. We might have a few before. But dude, if you have 3 or 4 beers before you play, and then you get on stage and you have a 90-minute to 2-hour set, when you're just back, we don't take breaks when we're playing. We're back to back to back, by the time that 2 hours is over, you don't even know you've drank. You've sweat it all out. So
yeah.
If we're traveling home, we're usually fine. But like if we're staying the night, or like in Ho Chi Town, we've got that cabin right behind the venue. Obviously we don't do too much before we play, but if it's a part of the show, we've had people bring shots on stage, like people from the crowd bring shots up, and we'll let them pour them in our mouths while we're playing and stuff. And like that, to me, that's cool. That's part of the show. Like if I'm going to a show, I'm probably going to remember that. So if it's stuff like that, like we'll definitely entertain it for sure and have a good time. But no, we don't go too crazy. We try to keep it mostly about the music. Most of us, I would say, bass player, he'll get shit faced every now and then, but
hey, sometimes you need that. You just need a few drinks in you to get warmed up, right? Loosen up a little.
That's definitely true. And if you're playing in a little dive bar with 3 people in it, it's not going to matter if you're shit faced or not. Nobody. The 3 people that are there are probably way drunker than you. So, like, but if we're playing in like at the saloon and there's 600 or 700 people there, we're going to try our best to put on a good show. We don't want to be sloppy.
You guys have been playing together for a long time, but do you remember the first time you guys played in front of people?
We have a little dive bar here it's in Paris. It's a local bar called Buffalo Joe's, and this was maybe a month or 2 after me and him met. And before we made Dear Iris, like I said, I was playing music under my own name, so I would play like solo acoustic shows and stuff. Well, if we're like stripping it down or whatever, he'll play the cajon, which is like a little box you sit on, and you can make the beat. I'm sure you've probably seen those before. Just a percussion kind of instrument, just to keep things going. Me and him played just a little show at Joe's, not rehearsed or anything. We just kind of winged it, and it worked out pretty good. But man, that's been at least 3 years ago, probably. Because we did that for a while. We did that for probably a year before we ever made a band. We were just doing duo shows, me and him.
So you guys just jammed out before you even went and did anything? Like you guys just knew each other and would just play at home and stuff?
Well, I met him. I was actually working at a golf course, and he was playing in a little 3-piece deal with another local guy that doesn't play much, but he was working on the road, and he was in town for the weekend, and he was playing that gig, and they were playing at the golf course that I was working at, and I met him there, and I just hit him up. I was like, yeah, let me get your number, dude. I'll hit you up next time you're in town. Holler at me, and we can get together and jam. And we played a few times, and then I already had that show booked at Joe's, so I was just like, dude, you just want to come up here and play? Whatever. That's not like a set price. However many people walk through the door is kind of what we get paid. I was like, I can't promise you a lot of money, but I can promise you there'll be some. You whatever it is, I can split it with you. And dude, that place was packed out. We played for 3 or 4 hours and just had it. It was a great time. And I think ever since then, we both kind of knew we were probably going to be playing together for a while.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool story.
It was fun. Yeah, it's been a pretty good ride so far, and I'm hoping it just gets better.
So I guess, is there anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs or anything?
I mean, we're not like just huge, but I think that list is just massive long. I mean, our parents, obviously, friends that have showed up to shows, you for having us on the podcast. I mean, we're
understanding girlfriends.
Mine's not happy that I'm not at home right now, but she's understanding, I think. So, but no, dude, that list goes on forever, and you probably know how it is. I'm sure you've got tons of people on your end that are that are definitely in your corner, and we're the same way. We appreciate everything anybody's done for us, and they know who they are.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
man, I appreciate you guys coming on here and stuff.
No doubt, man. We appreciate you for having us, and look forward to seeing you and Look Who It Is grow and reconnect, and a couple months down the road.
Look forward to hearing those new singles and stuff coming out. And like I said, man, I'll probably keep an eye on your TikToks and stuff like that, and I'll probably try and share your content and stuff as much as I can.
Yeah, same, and likewise, man. Same here. We appreciate you and look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too.